All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up D&D campaign setting, and the people below me are the people that haven't played this game in over a month and are super excited to come back. So, huzzah! Announcements. If you are watching this live, uh, understand that Matt Colville's RPG backer kit has a little over a day left if you want to back it. And they've raised over $4.2 million. So if you want to do that, check it out. It's just MCDM RPG. You can find it. Just type that into Google and you'll find it. But
The L King's Mill's working on the title.
yeah, we really badly want Matt Colville to just call up Dale and go, "Yeah, Dale, what are we naming this?" But yeah, it looks really cool. Colville, as much as I
I'm hoping we say that enough, he'll do
it. Well, they're friends.
I mean, it worked for an Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, Colville, as much as I disagree with a few of his ideas, he's a really solid stand-up dude, and he knows his shit. So I expect that this system is probably going to be really fun to play. And who knows, maybe next Daily December I'll be doing that for my Daily December campaign. But it looks fun. Other announcements, I am a daily vlogger now. I didn't think this would happen, but I have done 3 daily vlogs for the month of January, and until my brain decides that I can't do it anymore, I'm going to be just continuing making videos. Specifically, my video today was talking about how this is specifically going to be a daily vlog, not like Daily December where I just try random shit for a month. This is every day I'm going to talk to a camera about something that interests me. So if you guys want to check that out, it's youtube.com/trainerjody. I'm still going to be doing my discovering new dragons and designing new dragon stuff. I have another new series that I'm working on turning into a thing. Those will be kind of supplementary to the daily vlog. The daily vlog is going to happen every day until my brain doesn't let me. And if I stop doing it, I'm not going to be super upset about it because I never thought I would be doing this. So we'll see. Also, daily vlogs, not a thing on YouTube anymore, I have discovered. They used to be huge, and now they're not. So I am nothing if not drastically behind the times. But yeah, cool stuff there. Also, Daily December was super cool this year. If you guys, if for whatever reason you weren't watching this Twitch channel over the past month, we had an amazing Fabula Ultima campaign. Chax and Imp both played very cool characters. I killed off somebody in the last episode. That was fun. And they got to go out in a massive blaze of glory, a literal blaze of glory, as they climbed into a giant robotic dragon, flew it into space, and exploded it to save the world. Like, it was pretty epic for a 1 month long campaign. So
Did it count as a TPK?
no, everyone else survived. It was just
Oh.
in Fabula Ultima they have this mechanic where if you reduce to 0 hit points, you can either and the player chooses, it's not a DM decision. You can either surrender, which means you're out of that scene and something bad happens. You take an injury, you get captured by the bad guys, whatever, but it moves the story along. Or you can sacrifice your character, which means you get to decide how your character goes out. And it is a net benefit to the rest of the team, but your character's dead. And so, yeah, the last thing that this mecha dragon did was explode, and it took one of the players down to 0 hit points. And I told them flat out, he plays in my other RPG. His name's Scott, but he plays Lane in my other D&D game. But basically, I told him, I said, yeah, because we're not playing anymore, if you surrender, nothing bad happens. Like, you don't have to deal with the consequences of falling in battle. This is the end of the campaign. So we can just say you surrender. He's like, no, I'm good with going out. I want to do something cool. I'm like, okay, it's up to you. How do you want to do this? How do you want to be like the coolest person ever? And yeah, he climbs into this robot dragon and pilots it into space, and there's a cool explosion. It was awesome.
It's pretty cool.
So
Yay!
yeah.
Blaze of glory indeed.
Yeah. Chax played this cool robot, and Imp played a red panda. That, to be perfectly honest, you two were clutch in the fight, because Imp kept keeping everyone from getting status effects and keeping them alive, and Chax just kept getting punched in the face on purpose.
Yes. That's a good way of describing it.
Yeah, that sounds like chaps.
She was like the ultimate
Enjoyed
tank.
it.
She was
Apparently,
really, really good.
masochist.
All the experience of getting thrown into walls. So you just feel like you're just training like Happy Gilmore, just like
Yep.
Yeah, she had such a high armor that my level 15 boss monster couldn't touch her. And I hadn't really designed it with too many like area abilities, so the most it could do was breathe. And she had this ability that I forgot existed, where she could basically taunt the bad guy, and the taunt
Oh.
the taunt just exists for the rest of battle. Like, it's not save ends or anything. She just, for the rest of battle, she gets to go, come here, you're my bitch now. That's it.
Yeah, actually, you're right.
And yeah, it was
I
really
saw
good.
that and I'm like, oh, this will be a perfect one because it's in a different class. I was like, oh, this will be perfect.
Oh, sounds extremely broken.
Oh, it was. It was great. There's other things that you could have been that.
Yeah, like I
you mentioned
completely
you could
forgot
have been
we had a clock for that. And if I'd actually had the dragon start trying to unearth the clock instead of just focusing on killing them, the battle probably would have been a lot more dynamic. But my brain wasn't working super well, and to be perfectly honest, Shax played her character really well. And so it just felt kind of right to kind of reward the party because Shax did exactly what her character was designed to do. So
And Imp passing out his magical berries and
Yeah.
going around cleaning everyone.
it was good. And then victory!
Spasitile.
I
What kind of sick?
yeah. I've never like designed so much of a character, and Jody just goes like, "Hey, I can't fit any of this." Like, that's fine. It's just for me.
Well, it finally, like, at one point you wanted to be kind of like a warlock, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure out why warlock just wasn't making sense. And the reason why is they already have warlocks in Fabula Ultima. They're arcanists. That's how you get power from a super powerful being, is you take a level in arcanist. And it made perfect sense to me, like, 2 weeks after we had the conversation. I was like, oh shit, we totally could have done that and it would have made perfect sense. But my brain wasn't working in that way, so. But no, like, the just sheer amount of nonsense that this man wrote.
It was one page. Okay, let's just show it. Show
It
the
was
fuck
a
out.
It was
very
detailed.
yeah, it
Mr.
was
World Builder.
it was a very content-rich page.
The
But
man
no,
who
it's-
the man who keeps editing the world that we're going to be playing in.
No, the world doesn't get edited that much, to be perfectly honest. I have it all out in my head. I just don't write it down. And then there's a few instances where you guys will do something and I'm like, I never even considered that, and I have to write something on the spot. But for the most part, it's just me revealing shit that I wrote 2 years ago that is somehow in my brain when I can't remember my damn pin, but I can somehow remember, you know, how the world was created in this mystical, magical world that I made up one day.
Because it's cool and pins aren't cool.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
We'll have to return to that world only because we helped build that world.
Yeah.
It was very, very cool. And I like, just like the Power Rangers game, like I intended to delete the Roll20 games of them eventually because I'm not playing them anymore. And I just can't bring myself to do it because I want to bring back the Night Sentinels. And I want to bring back, you guys never even picked a name for yourselves. But I want to bring back whatever group we call that. And they were so much fun. And if I was still doing like charity events and stuff, I would totally run a session for that for charity, but I haven't done that in a year. And they won't let me do that for Zeldathon because it's not Zelda related.
Aw.
But yeah, it was super fun, and it's all on my YouTube channel now. So if you want to check out the entire campaign, Fabula Ultima is a fabulous system. It is really, really good. It's one of my favorites right now. Yeah. Otherwise, anything else happening in the tabletop RPG world that's important? Oh, I got a notification. My deck of many things got shipped today. So
Yay.
I will soon have a new deck of many things. I still have...
Your original deck?
I have my original deck of many things right here.
Oh my.
But
Guys, don't cheer that shit. We're already in enough trouble.
No.
We're already in enough trouble, and then Jody's gonna get a new deck.
Yeah.
I just dropped my deck. Does that count as drawing?
No.
But no, so I'm super, super
Does
excited
it count
about
with
that.
dice when it's in that 20?
No.
Then no.
But I'm super, super excited about that. I have the digital copy of all the Deck of Many Things, which none of the stuff that Wizards of the Coast released in 2023 was their best material. Let's just put that out. It wasn't bad, but it's obvious that a large portion of their creative staff has been put onto D&D 5.5, which is supposedly releasing this year. So, yeah. But I like physical things, and I paid an ungodly high amount to get the digital and physical bundle just so that I could have the digital stuff, because I like digital, and I get a new deck of many things that has extra cards in it. It's no longer just a 22-card deck. They have the more cards.
Yeah, they added more.
Alright, so now it's become the D&D version of the Cardcaptor Sakura anime.
Basically. Also, that was when I was a kid. I wanted badly to watch Cardcaptors, but it was during a period of time where my parents had decided that any reference to magic
Oh
was
no.
witchcraft, and I would burn in hell. And so I
Oh,
never
the
got to watch
Satanic
it.
Panic.
Well, this technically was after the main part. Like, this was in the late 90s. So the Satanic Panic had mostly been done with, and people were worrying about which friend they were at that point. But we couldn't watch Friends because that was a show about sex, and everybody knows watching shows about sex will lead to depravity and destruction, and the entirety of the Western world will just die instantly.
Some friends of mine made a skit based on what one evangelist pastor did. He said like yoga was how you let the devil in.
Yoga. There was when prohibition first got repealed. There was a few pastors that were really, really against it because alcohol is of the devil.
Yeah.
Which, to be perfectly honest, I think alcohol has ruined a lot more lives than Friends ever did. But who knows? I did find that when it came to Netflix, I finally got to watch the entire run of Friends, and it's an okay show.
Some of that shit does not age well.
Well, I mean, I generally, like, I can look through the lens of history and I can go, oh, that makes sense. And, like, I can understand jokes that, wouldn't be told now. Like, I can still watch Blazing Saddles and have no problem with it. But I tend to focus on, like, the acting performances and stuff like that. And some of it was really good. Ross was just a horrible person the entire show. And Rachel was not that much better. Like, Ross set a low bar, and Rachel just barely was above it. The rest of them I really enjoyed. Joey was great. I loved Chandler. Monica was annoying. And Phoebe was amazing. I think Phoebe is still my favorite. I wish I could be Phoebe, but I probably would be closer... I think I would be closer to either Chandler or, unfortunately, Ross. So...
It's one of those weird universe crossovers because Phoebe's sister was from the other universe of Mad About You.
Yep. Mad About You is also a pretty interesting show. The 90s had some great shows, guys. They really did. Also, I got as part of a humble bundle, I got an RPG that uses the Highlander license. So I have a Highlander RPG. It is amazing. It is exactly what you think it is.
Here we are.
I am immortal. I have inside me blood of kings. We're the masters of the... Or what is it? The rulers of the universe. If you guys have never seen the Highlander television series, it is peak 90s nonsense. Adrian Paul walking around with a katana, randomly changing his accent based on which time period his character is in, and sword fighting.
I just remember that because I thought it was great because Richard Mall was was an immortal in that series.
They had a lot of really good actors in it. Yeah, it went on for 6 seasons. The movies are god awful. They're really, really horrible. Like, Sean Connery plays a character whose last name is Ramirez, and he's Spanish. Speaks with a Scottish accent, uses a Japanese katana, and was actually born in ancient Egypt.
Yeah, it was Egyptian. Yep.
And his original name was like Naktuk or something like that. Because he was Egyptian. Sean Connery, who did not change his accent ever. Sean Connery is not an actor who needs to change his accent. He is Sean Connery.
No one wanted to do Highlander 2. The studio contractually obligated everybody.
And they turned them into space aliens!
Oh,
They went from being immortals to space aliens! And then they created a recut of it, like the director's cut, which erased all of the space aliens and made them from a previous civilization on Earth. That super advanced civilization that died out, and the immortals are the ones that are back. Nobody likes Highlander 2. It's been cut from all canon. It was really, really stupid, but Sean Connery came back for it. It was a bit part in that. But it's amazing. Watching Sean Connery fight with a katana against... God, who played the Kurgan? I can't remember the actor's name.
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown. Yeah, Clancy Brown. Mr. Krabs fighting Sean Connery, where he's wearing like sexy barbarian armor and a massive two-handed greatsword. Sean Connery is in Spanish high court dress, wielding a katana, and they're fighting in a collapsing tower in the Scottish Highlands. It doesn't get any better than this, folks.
You know, I'm honestly surprised of the lack of just changed audio of clips from the first Highlander, where they just take Clancy Brown's character, but it's audio from Detroit Become Human. Connor, the fuck are you doing?
Clancy Brown is such an underrated actor. He's so amazing.
Like, whatever he does, he plays... He does not half-ass. He is just having fun.
He's kind of the Raul Julia of our generation, because Raul Julia, it didn't matter what part you cast him in, he put 400,000% in. Like, if you've ever seen the movie Street Fighter, is awful. It is such a bad movie. He is so good.
He did that for his kids.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I unironically love Street
It's a great
Fighter.
movie.
It is hilarious. I don't take it seriously, obviously, but it's just the audacity that they had to make it, how they changed the characters, yet still were able to pull off putting in so many characters. And Raul Julia, first off, a shame that this was his final movie. And if I remember, like, reading an interview from somewhere, he said, like, he knew he was going to die, so he was just going to go absolutely ham with the character of M. Bison, not really aware that that's exactly how M. Bison is like in the franchise.
Because he wanted to do it for his kids, so he was to have something.
Wanted to do it for his children.
The movies he did before that were the Addams Family movies, and he is so brilliant in those as well. Like, again, the guy, you could not find a bad role for Raul Julia, and I think the same thing is true about Clancy Brown. I've never seen him in a bad role. Like, Starship Troopers is a campy hack of a movie. He's amazing in it.
Oh my god. Wait, who's it? Oh, right, Clancy Brown.
Yeah, Clancy Brown. Sorry. Not Raul Julia. He was gone by then. No, Clancy Brown's in that. He plays the instructor. Again, he is Mr. Krabs and has been for, 20 some odd years.
Oh God.
I kind of want to see someone overdub the Kurgan from Highlander with Mr. Krabs, because that would be hilarious.
Yeah, it's probably like a YouTube poop somewhere.
If somebody has not done that, you have your
Warning.
orders. Go
Were we
make
supposed
this
to play
together.
D&D or
We
something?
were, but we got talking about Clancy Brown.
We did.
That being said,
What? I was talking bullshit for 30 minutes? No.
it doesn't happen in
Yeah.
my D&D games.
Yeah, certainly not.
All right. It is time for us to return to Traversing the Veil. The world is a bit darker than it was before. After investigating a new Fading Isle, the first Fading Isle in history to have ruins rise with it, the party ventured beneath the ruins, beneath the veil, to discover a strange abandoned city. In the center of the city was a large containment facility that housed a massive combination monstrosity of a beholder dragon. In addition to the giant skyscraper-sized creature, there were hundreds, if not thousands, of beholders seemingly floating around, bursting forth from the creature at random intervals. While investigating the creature, an explosion happened, and figures from Smegwick's past appeared and seemed to swear allegiance to this new creature. The party was able to flee the city before the myriad of beholders reduced everything nearby to nothingness. After helping rescue a few of the people that survived the onslaught of this enormous creature, the party attempted to return to Vox's Landing, only to discover it had been taken over by the beholders. As they snuck into the city to get much needed supplies to hopefully be able to make it to a safer port, the party saved one of the former members of the expedition, a turtle druid, and fled after escaping through terrifying visage, a beholder that was intent on killing them all. Now, the party returns to their small flotilla to decide what to do next, and hopefully learn more of what was going on at Vox's Landing.
Imp, you missed it. Let me show you again.
No, I saw it. I have a stream.
That was amazing. So, to get us back to where we were previously, the last session that we ran, you guys got to go through Vox's Landing. You saw some weird stuff going on. There were a bunch of druids that were basically, it seemed to be creating just biomatter, for lack of a better term. They were making, meat and vegetables and anything in the world, and they were just trying to make as much of it as possible under the command of these beholders. And there was a significant large population. They all seemed to be trying to build something or create something under the command of these beholders. And the top of Vox's Landing had a strange kind of stone growth on top of it, where this giant beholder thing seemed to be resting. So, On your way out, you guys did get your total druid friend to go out with you guys. And yeah, you were, as far as you can tell, Vox's Landing is pretty far on the horizon at this point. You're not quite, you haven't quite met up with the rest of your little flotilla. But you're probably a few hours away you're about a few hours away from the rendezvous point. And as far as you can tell, no beholders have come after you. So you seem to be in the clear.
As they don't believe us. Or they now dead beholder.
So,
The less people we interact with, the better right now.
what
I
would
don't
you
think
guys
we'll
like to do?
interact with people if we go out. Oh,
So, since you guys have been back on the ship, the total druid has basically spent the entire time below decks in one of the passenger quarters, and he's been just zonked, completely unconscious.
Yeah, he's got to recover.
did he turn back from the honey badger?
Yeah, surprisingly enough, he didn't even stay honey badger the entire 2 hours he normally can. It was pretty quick. After the honey badger don't care, he didn't care either.
Fair.
So, what would you all like to do?
Get the fuck out of here.
And
Yeah.
Yep. Reggie's already at the helm.
Mm.
Unless you want to send like a message to the dragon friend. What the hell's his name?
Declan.
Declan, yeah.
I can certainly do that. Do I have any spell slots left for message or for sending? I have one slot left until we take a long rest. So, okay, so let's make this one count. So it's like, okay, Declan, what am I saying to him?
Mission success. All water. Meeting at rendezvous point.
All right. So yeah, I cast sending, and yeah, I basically just repeat that: mission complete. See you at the rendezvous point. Heading straight there. No
Okay.
detours.
All right. So, yeah, you guys, your ship is riding relatively low because you guys have a crap ton of water on board. But you
It's in the
thi-
bags though. Or we had some barrels too.
We
Right?
had
Yeah.
some barrels,
You
yeah.
had
We
some
threw
barrels,
them
too.
into the veil and then fished them out.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you guys have these large kind of tanker-sized things of water, which is remarkably heavy. If people don't realize just how heavy water is, because you just think of it as, oh, I can swim in it, but it's really heavy. Yeah, you guys are running relatively low on the veil.
I think
But-
we had that much, but okay.
Well, it's heavy.
Yeah. We've got a lot.
It's heavy water. Okay.
Yeah, it's heavy
Yes.
water, and next is going to be a
It's
nuclear
dense.
bomb. And yeah, unless there's something specific you guys want to do in the 2 hours it takes you guys to get to the rendezvous, you arrive at the rendezvous with very little issue, and as soon as the what are they called? Lay planks, I think,
Okay.
are landed on the ship. Probably about a dozen people from Declan's ship come over and start working on getting some of the water off of your ship so that they can kind of even it out.
All right, it's going to help with that.
Okay. Declan comes over with the rest of them and goes, "Well, seems that you all have done remarkably well. Can't say I thought it would go as well as it did. I have the utmost trust and respect for all of you, but it did seem that the odds were against you, let's say, and you have done admirably."
You have no friggin' idea.
Yeah,
You really have
we-
no idea.
Well,
We did more than admirably. We actually managed to rescue someone.
oh, wonderful. Well, depending on how tiring your journey was. If you would like, I have a small supper that has been prepared, and I figured we could dine and kind of debrief at the same time. I am eager to find out exactly what was going on there, and hopefully we can come up with a plan as far as where we are going next.
If our druid friend is up for it, we may want to have him present as well.
Certainly.
He saw a lot. He was a non. He was basically not against. He was they held there against his will. Those guys are literally being worked to death.
Well, if you would like, I do have one of the
Actually, if you
more
have any medical
musically
people to see to him,
gifted
that'd be great.
members of my crew tends to have an ear for some of the healing magics. If you'd like, I can send him over, and he can look at your druid friend, see if he can't kind of quicken his recovery.
Anything could help. I think the poor guy's also just exhausted. Well, I'm sure a good meal would also help a lot with him.
And as soon as you say that, suddenly, just kind of seemingly out of nowhere, you see this flash of red, and you hear an impact next to you. You see a figure standing there, kind of crouching. You can see that they're wearing mostly red leathers. They have a cape and kind of a swashbuckler style hat with a large...
I got my bow out and I'm already
Ah,
aiming.
fuck!
Like, what the heck?
Puss
Ah!
in Boots.
As he kind of stands to his full height, you can see a tabaxi standing there.
Yes, Puss in Boots.
He has a he has a bandolier on his back, and he goes, "Captain, you have called for me." Yes, this is Sebastian. He is our wonderful board. He has kept us going these rough times. Of course, Capitan. That is what I'm here for. I'm here to ensure that everyone has a wonderful time. And he looks over and he sees Aoi. He goes, "Oh, my apologies." And he quickly kind of runs over and takes your hand, places a slight kiss on it. "I was not aware. I was in the presence of royalty. Forgive me." And he kind of bows deep. "I am Sebastian, Bard of the Vale."
Oh no.
Hey, I reach up and scratch his head.
Smegwick and Spitwit simultaneously roll their eyes.
And
Reggie still has that arrow knocked because he's freaked out by that entrance still.
Arai's going to put his hand on Reggie's shoulder and just like give it a slightly tight squeeze, like put that away.
And so we've dealt with beholders, we've dealt with dragons, we've dealt with dragon beholders, we dealt with weird people that want us dead. It just kept one day.
my friend,
One day with no
you do not
surprises.
have to worry about Sebastian. I would never hurt anyone my captain considers a friend. So,
It's okay. You just scared the accent right out of our friend.
I have that.
Yeah.
I have that ability. And finally, Declan comes over and just kind of claps him on the back of the head. And he goes, "Ow! Would you kindly go down and stop flirting with everything that moves?"
Arai shifts.
And he suddenly realizes Arai is there. He goes, "But sir," and suddenly Declan just kind of shoulder checks him. "Now!" And you see him kind of like, you see his little feline face kind of pout for a second.
Arai winks at him.
You see him, "Signor, I will return to you post haste." And he just disappears.
Captain Jack Harkness, meet William Riker.
Jim winks.
At the pouting face, Owie's eyes kind of dilute a little from the probable cuteness.
And so Declan turns around and goes, "I'm very sorry about that. He is absolutely wonderful at what he does.
Oh, don't
However, what?
Don't be.
Oh, well, why don't we go...
Just look at Arai, like just.
Arai's just sitting there kind of pruning himself and making sure his hair is all
Reggie's
right.
on Arai's other side looking like,
So Declan kind of motions like, well, let us go before the starters get cold. And so he leads you back onto his significantly larger kind of galleon of a ship, and you are taken into the ready room for the captain. And it is kind of lavish compared to what you guys have been used to. Like this is a full military galleon, and the captain is treated very, very well on it. So, like,
Well,
there's a
we've been
little-
on Declan's ship before.
Well, yeah, but it's still like every time you guys see this, because I think you've even been in his quarters before.
Yeah.
But this particular, the captain's ready room, or the dining room that's off of the captain's ready room, is still kind of a bit of extravagant. And as you go, you guys can see there's a place setting for each one of you, and it seems that there are kind of hot appetizers there. As far as you can tell, they look to be some kind of fried food.
Ooh, bloomin' onion.
Yes. Suddenly you hear, that's not an onion. That's an onion. In my horrible Australian accent.
So, sorry, weren't we on Declan's ship before when we were being held captive?
Yes, but you weren't
Yes.
in the captain's mess.
Correct.
You got torched to shit. Remember because of the pitch?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys are basically held in, technically you were held in VIP quarters because he didn't put you in the brig. And you guys have been to his ready room because that's where he has his
Yeah.
meetings. But off of his ready room, he has a private dining room, the captain's mess.
Right.
And so that's where you guys are now.
Just confirming.
Yep. It's a big ship. It's got, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly, a galleon can have like 10 decks or something. Like it's a galleon's
Damn.
huge, and they could be crewed by hundreds of people. Like they were the kind of equivalent to like almost the equivalent to like modern day aircraft carriers, of just how massive they were compared to the rest of the fleet. Though I guess they'd be closer to a battleship, but they were cool.
They
And I
weren't
like
made
the
for
edge of
speed. They were made to be a floating fortress.
Yeah, they could. A lot of them could have like 40 or 60 guns per side. Like it was nuts. They'd have like 3 or 4 gun decks. So yeah, as you guys kind of sit down, and you can see a very, very nicely prepared meal. As you all kind of sit down, Declan goes, "Don't worry, the rest of the crew is also dining relatively well right now. We needed the morale boost, to be perfectly honest.
So the people on our ship too.
Well, anyone on your ship that could use a good, filling, tasteful meal, just send them over, and we will feed them." Well, why don't we all dig in? The chef has done quite more than could be expected of him.
Thank you so much.
So, Uri, you look somewhat peculiar right now. Is there something I can help you with?
Oh, I was thinking about Thomas, and I forgot our new pet's name. Seamus?
Oh dear.
What's his name?
Believe
Oh,
the name
Janet.
given to me was Reese.
Reese.
Reese, yes.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Good Welsh name,
Yes.
despite the fact that Wales doesn't exist in this reality.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Wales exist, but not like Wales, the country with the red dragons and sheep and everything. Well, so as you guys are eating, it turns into about a 4-course meal where you have your starters, and then you have kind of a light, fresh fruit salad, and then some kind of cooked meats, and then a kind of sweet dessert. And after or during the meal, he goes, "So, as much as I hate to ruin the meal with talk of war, we best start talking about the things that you discovered on Vox's Landing."
Might as well.
So,
Mm.
obviously the beholder dragon thing is there.
Yep.
And apparently there are survivors as well.
Survivors is put it loosely, more like conscripted slavery.
Well, that doesn't
Uh,
seem particularly nice.
I can tell
However,
you, this guy is so scary. He makes other beholders fall in line.
well, if we could call it a silver lining, as long as they have work for them to do, there is a possibility that they will remain well enough to survive. Meaning we might be able to mount a rescue mission if we can get the necessary forces for it.
The problem you should also be aware of: the closer you get there, the more the harder it is for magical spell casting to take place.
Oh, that is quite tragic.
Mm-hmm.
I may need to make some calls.
But that definitely gives more martial type people an edge.
Well, that was I was thinking. I do not know many in the Marines, but I still have a few contacts, friends and family and things like that. We might be able to get some of the more militant members to be able to give us a hand. Perhaps
Yeah.
the
Where
Pathfinding
else?
Corps. The Rangers tend to be remarkably good in mundane situations.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see if we can get the Temple Sovereignty to get on the same page.
Well, I sincerely doubt that they can ignore a situation like this. I mean, this is quite literally world-ending. They obviously can't ignore us, especially since we have proof, apparently, with your survivor. And I mean, Vox's Landing, what, 90% of commerce in the Sovereignty goes through Voxus at one point or another?
It did.
I mean, we can't just ignore that it is no longer producing anything.
True.
So, yes, I think this should. The information that you have given us should be extremely valuable and should be very useful in getting the sovereignty to step in. The question.
Just inquiry. Are we safe to have a conversation?
Meaning.
Eyes and ears and all that.
Oh, anyone that comes into this room is trusted by me implicitly. I will not have anyone
Magical.
There are certain things built into the captain's quarters in general that allow for more secrecy than normal.
Okay, then I'm definitely. We need as many cards on the table as we can. There is a rogue quantity being at play here too.
Really? Rogue meaning secretive types, or rogue meaning outside of a chain of command?
Clandestine would be a bit more apt.
Ooh.
I think someone may have definitely gone rogue in the colloquial
Clandestine
sense.
sovereignty, or just clandestine belonging to some other group?
They should be in the sovereignty, but someone has clearly been taking liberties.
Oh, well, that is quite distressing. The idea that the sovereignty could be doing anything that might turn into this is, well, it shouldn't happen. There's so many checks and balances. It shouldn't be possible for something like that to go on without someone higher up knowing about it, and our leadership is moral, if maybe slightly out of touch with the populace. Tell me more about this clandestine faction.
No. Sorry. Joshua has to
You're
review
doing the
those.
exact same thing I do every single time.
Because I'm always trying to keep it straight. Because Soul Watch is the military, marine, or is it Lens Tower?
Lens Tower is basically to stop all the bad things from the Unending Mist coming down. Soul Watch is the no-fly zone where things happen that nobody knows about. So it's research development, and as you found out,
Yeah.
other
Okay,
things.
so it's
as
Soul
well.
Watch.
So yeah, you are from Soul Watch. Lynn's is much more military focused.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what to call them, and so basically, just so that's the reason why I asked, for safety reasons. Those people were that I ran into, that I only recently remembered. They were from Soul Watch.
Soul Watch? You mean the research facility on the other side of the Fading Isles?
The Tempest Sovereignty Research Facility.
So they're scientists.
Scientists that also use prisoners, and sometimes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dubois. You must be mistaken.
Do I look like I'm mistaken?
Soul Watch has no prisoner
Official.
population.
Officially, no, they don't.
And you see him kind of hesitate, and you watch as his scales slightly turn paler. No, my dear boy, you must be mistaken. See,
I would listen to our dear friend Smegway. This is a subject that we can all guarantee you he knows more than anyone else.
no, you simply do not understand. See, my family has actually supported Soul Watch for 7 generations.
I'm sure you're familiar with what Soul Watch does on the books.
But I visited Soul Watch Tower with my father when I was much younger.
You did not visit entirety, I promise you.
But we were given a complete tour of the facility to show where our money was going.
They probably shuffled it around when your visit was it a scheduled visit?
Well, of course it was. You can't have people showing up randomly.
Plenty of time for them to move stuff around.
And you can just
And
see
secret locations are the best.
him getting.
Also, I'm
kind of-
sure there's plenty of off-site locations they also operate out of. Wouldn't be surprised. Suffice to say, you having this knowledge could be very dangerous if you're not careful.
You see him kind of lost in thought for a moment.
But someone's operating definitely people who were how to put this, made into possibly elite experimental agent soldiers, whatever you have. They wouldn't have a title, surely.
And as soon as you said elite agents as soldiers, you watch him just kind of snap. And he turns to you and goes, "You will silence yourself right now. You do not know what you are talking about, and we will stop discussing this at this very moment." And you watch him just kind of sit there with this incredibly confused look on his face.
Yeah, so anyway, these people, I don't know a damn thing I'm talking about. Here's one, here's the other, here's the other, here's the other. And they were made by this jackass.
"I'm very sorry. I do not know what came over me. If you would excuse me for just a moment, I think I need to lie down." And you watch him just almost
Do I
in a
look like-
trance.
Does it look like... Oh, no, this is bad. No. Hey.
Oh.
You stay with us.
Oh,
And he seems oblivious to you guys right now, and he just starts walking out of the room.
oh.
Arai's gonna grab him.
I am
All right,
going to
make
cast.
me,
Shoulder.
make me an athletics check with disadvantage.
Oh no.
While she's doing that, can I cast Detect Thoughts on him?
Absolutely.
Okay, I cast Detect Thoughts.
So the top level stuff that you don't need a save for is nothing. His mind is completely blank.
Guys, we have a situation.
Oh,
Your guy, if you also recall, he was also put the hoodoo on before.
Okay,
all right,
well, I'm... Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Arel,
Arai.
14.
14, cool. As you, because you are probably about a head taller. Like, Declan's a big guy, but he's not massively tall. Like, he's a little bit broader than he is tall. So you've got easily a head on him, and you are a lithe but very strong person. And so as you put your hand on him, the first thing that you notice is it's like holding onto a statue. It is completely stiff. And then as you try to stop him, nothing changes his momentum. Like this isn't, and you're not feeling his muscles kind of fighting against you or anything. He is being moved.
No.
And no matter what you seem to be doing, like you're not stopping his momentum at all, but he's pulling you along.
Oh.
I go towards his front and try to push him back.
Sure, go ahead and give me an athletics check with disadvantage.
Could I possibly assist her? I'm breaking off the telepathy here. Could I possibly assist her and cast Hold Person on him?
What is your spell save DC?
Spell save DC is 16.
16. I believe this is a wisdom save, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. As you sit there and you start incanting the words for the Hold Person, you instantly feel protective wards in the room start to activate. But there's no one here to kind of trigger the response for them. So you can just feel kind of a lot of energy in the room being prepared to be used against you and waiting for a signal. But you get the spell off. And as you do and you start kind of focusing on the muscles, the spell itself does nothing.
Oh,
It
Guys,
just
we
seems
have a
to
serious
complete
problem.
The one person I know is always that apparently has established already skulking around. He's probably not inside, but I'm going outside. I'm going to call out, Sebastian!
Which one?
A window bursts open and this whirlwind of red leather and fur bursts into the room. And crouching down, he slowly gets up. You have gold, senor.
Yeah, very fancy. He's under some kind of spell. It is not him. He is tabula rasa outside. He's trying to. He's in danger.
You watch him just very smoothly kind of take out a rapier, throw it in the air, flip the bandolier off, and as the rapier lands on the ground, he simply places a knee on it, places the bandolier, and you see him start just playing furiously this kind of up-tempo beat, and he goes, you need to stop moving, you need to stop moving, you need to stop moving, now! And you watch as his Hold Person goes and fails. He's like, oh, I assume that would be more effective.
That's what I thought too.
Perhaps we are dealing with something more difficult. You, my friend, you are gifted in the magical arts, yes? His Declan is still going as both Arai and Aoi are just sitting there like bear hugging him.
I do tend to dabble when I can. What do you got an idea?
Have access to the spell Dispel Magic.
Do I?
It would be lovely for you to find out. I actually have to remember if bards get that on their spell list, so with my horrible Spanish accent, I am going to look.
If you go to spell tab and just type in the spell, it should bring it up if you have it or not.
Spell Magic?
I have something that might help
Sure. What do you want to do?
protection from evil and good.
Okay.
Oh,
Um.
nice little workaround right there.
Is
And
there
to
any
answer your question,
We'll get to you just a second. Is there any save for casting it on effectively a hostile target?
Oh god, I answered. Uh,
I'll look at the spell real quick. D&D Beyond, very useful when my internet isn't super slow. Oh, because I'm in Bard spells. I need actual spells. I mean, Bards are actual spells, but...
Rude.
Oh, unwilling creature. Oh no.
Yeah, so unfortunately that won't work because he at this particular moment he's an unwilling creature.
No.
Or I have
But
the magic of strength.
yes, I have muscle magic. Urgh. And you instantly become what's his name from Full Metal Alchemist. Don't
Alex
worry,
Armstrong.
Elward.
Oh, Alex Louise Armstrong.
Yes. The beauty of my muscles.
I'm suddenly having flashbacks to D&D 3rd edition, The Muscle Wizard.
But anyway, bards do get access at level 3 to, it's a 3rd level spell to spell magic.
They
so
do,
if you
and
don't have it,
unfortunately, I do
you
not
don't
have
It's
it.
like, okay, then it looks like I am going to be doing this on my own, and he starts to kind of play even more this kind of merengue song, and he's like,
If you-
I can also cast Hold Person if someone can boost me, but I don't know if it's strong enough to work.
Hold person obviously didn't work twice.
I will
I'd rather do
give
it
bardic
yourself.
inspirations to whoever needs it right now.
okay. So I'm actually going to roll for this, because...
Like Reggie, standing next to Sebastian, pulls out his violin.
Unless you want me to I roll Arcana and suss this thing out.
If you want to try and go the Arcana route and figure out what's going on, you are more than welcome to.
Okay.
I just have to
Hey,
remember
I
how
would
this
never
spell
think to do
works.
that.
Okay, D&D Beyond, I'll give you a chance.
We believe in you.
Is there time to possibly
Oh.
also try it?
Possibly also what?
Do an Arcana check.
Sure, if you just have to tell me what you're trying to figure out with the Arcana check.
Sorry, so Reggie, did you give me inspiration?
I can give that to you right now. Okay, so yeah, Smegwick, you have bardic inspiration.
Which dice?
You get a 1d8.
D8. Cool. Thank you, because
And did you give him Bardic Inspiration? Because he badly needs it.
Absolutely.
Cool.
So
Because he
that's
just
16.
rolled a little too low. Okay, we'll get to
Yeah,
you in a
Reggie.
second.
So yeah, Reggie's just in the background behind Smegwick and Sebastian. He's just rocking Dragon Force on his violin right now because we got to get Declan back here.
this is violent version of da 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 da.
I impressively enough rolled a 1 on my Bardic Inspiration for this character, so we'll deal with him in a second. With a 16 for Smegwick. There's obviously some kind of compulsion. You're not sure if this is some kind of souped up version of a Gaius spell or maybe some kind of high level mislead almost kind of spell, because it seems like talking about Soul Watch triggered it. So it could be like a suggestion spell or something like that, but whatever it is, it's remarkably powerful, and it seems to be something in the neighborhood of enchantment style magic. Sebastian.
Well, he's definitely been enchanted. He's definitely been enchanted.
Sebastian.
When I hear that, like maybe I can maybe go through my mind, see if I can figure out the exact type of enchantment spell.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check. While that's going on.
Nothing.
Okay.
12.
Again, the spells that you're aware of shouldn't have this effect. This looks like it's a combination of spell effects. For Sebastian, he sits there and he goes, "Damn it all. I've tried dispelling this magic, but it is a very powerful spell. And I am very unlucky."
There was someone who helped him out before. Are they available, or did they get taken out when the Corey Alstrax originally busted out?
It is a fantastic question. And as Arai and Aoi, Arai, you feel a door behind you as you've been trying to kind of like do everything you can, and you feel yourself getting pushed through the front door out onto the main deck.
Through the door.
Well, the door opens.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't like break the door. He just opened the door
Wow,
with your butt.
impressive.
So, And now you are, you're in sunlight, and you feel him just make a right turn, looking directly at the railing at the edge of the ship,
No,
and just
no,
making
no.
just slowly walking. And suddenly you hear a thud of wood on wood, and suddenly you see vines start growing out of the wood itself. And you guys can
Little
look,
Fred.
you look back and you see, seems that I can't take you people anywhere.
No, but we can take you places.
And kind of winks at you.
It's a,
Hey, this is really great. Long story short, heavy power enchantment, and I think he's wanting to go for a swim.
I would highly recommend against a swim in this weather. Especially seems it looks like you've just eaten. And you can see the vines are constricting him to the point where you can see a little bit of pain in his eyes. And you can see little bits of red starting to kind of form on some of the vines. And he kind of looks at you all and goes, oh, he's gonna feel it, but I think the alternative is worse. As long as my staff remains touching something natural, he should be stuck there for at least a minute or two.
oh,
You might
Can I knock
wanna-
him out?
If you would like to, I would need an attack roll. With disadvantage because you're trying not to kill him.
Okay.
can I help him in that regard?
Sure, you no longer roll with disadvantage.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're doing it because I was about to use Fairy Fire on him.
I mean,
He
you
just
still
bursts
could.
into purple flames.
Yep.
It's so festive.
I got an 18.
18. Yeah, 18 is more than enough to hit him.
Oh, thank God.
Especially since he's not wearing most of his armor. Go ahead and roll. Go and roll double damage for this.
Sorry, buddy.
Consider it a critical hit.
Oh. 10.
10. Well, you did real good. So as you, so what exactly are you doing to try and render him unconscious? Are you striking him? Or are you kind of submissioning him?
No, like
Okay.
striking him.
And are you going to do it bare hand, or are you going to take out your pike and kind of slap
Bare
him with
hand.
that? Okay.
Bare hand.
So you guys watch as she kind of extricates herself. You watch as he kind of extricates himself from the vines and everything, and you probably have a few scratches from the vines themselves. And you kind of get up behind and you just bring a hammer fist down on the back of his skull, and you watch his eyes kind of go fuzzy for a little bit, and he blinks. And he still seems to be very intent on where he's going.
I try to what? While our eyes momentum is towards the ground, maybe I can run up his back and hit him with the second strike with the hilt of my rapier.
Go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage.
Might be beneficial to just strangle him.
That too. But this works as well. I mean, repeated impacts to the head can render someone unconscious.
Can.
They also
Typically
cause brain
more
damage.
Consistent. Yeah. Well, so does strangling someone.
Yeah, but strangling
Point
someone,
passing out.
if you do it right, it doesn't cause brain damage.
Stop
That's the point.
walking, you yuppie bastard!
Now stop talking so I can hit you. What do you got?
And did you use fairy fire or?
Does someone want to help her out here?
I think since we're the only ones battle, I think he will. If like this is going the wrong route, he will do Fairy Fire. He's like, other people are covered in glitter too, but this guy's not fighting us.
So you just you guys all have these little festive flames around you. I'm not going to even roll a check for it because Declan does not have a dex score, at least not one he's proud of. So yeah, go ahead and roll it with advantage then.
Okay.
Here's our lucky he's in his Sunday best, because if he's in his full plate armor, he's remarkably hard to hit.
All right, I rolled a natural 19, so that is a 27.
Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. We'll call it a crit again, so you can roll double damage.
Okay.
Hopefully get more than 10.
Yeah, and this is gonna be non-lethal.
Oh, Chax, did you roll additional die because you get extra dice for piercing crits because of the piercer feat?
It's not a piercer, it's bludgeoning.
Arai just clocked him.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
never mind. Ignore that. I was like, wait a minute. We built your
Yeah.
character to do crazy crit damage.
We did, but it was bludgeoning.
Yeah, and I'm hitting him with the blunt of my with the hilt.
Okay.
So
Princess Bride style.
obviously, I don't want to
Which
kill him.
gave Carrie Ellis a concussion.
Okay. Yes. Should I add my extra damage to that?
Yeah, put all the damage you want in it.
Okay, 19.
19. Cool. So the combination between Arai coming up and just slugging him in the back of the head, and then Aoi, after looking fabulous in purple flames, coming down and just knocking him. You watch as his eyes kind of grow white and just kind of roll into the back of his head. And unfortunately, because he's currently held up by plants,
That
he doesn't drop to the ground. He just stands there limp as the vines are still constricting him in place.
Okay, I think you can let him down now. We're gonna
gently get him, on the boat.
Arai throws him over his arm like a sack of grain.
Yeah. So yeah, you watch as your total friend just kind of lifts his staff, and the vines kind of wither and disintegrate into nothingness.
Sebastian, if you got anyone who's capable of who's like there was someone who was able to assist previously when he had a bad case of modified suggestion.
Well, I am the servant to my Capitan. I will take care of him, as well as I took care of your druid friend. I, of course, will take care of my Capitan. Capitan, come with me. And he kind of comes over, and he kind of presses up really close to Arai, seemingly to get one of the captain's arms around his shoulder so he can help you carry. But you've got him completely over your shoulder, so you could tell that that's doing nothing.
Big difference, you know.
So he's just sitting there. He's like, "I have you, Capitan," and then like he puts an arm around your waist and just kind of looks at you for support.
I like your support.
I am very supportive to my friends.
Just friends?
Oh no.
Perhaps. And you guys,
Where are we going?
let us take him to the captain's quarters. And after, perhaps, we can have a drink. No,
Would you
I must
two
save
quit
my
flirting while you're winking at Bernie's in the sky?
And he kind of directs you to the captain's quarters. And the captain is a very nice bed, by the way. King size. It's great. 4-poster.
So do we need to tie him down? Which knots do you know?
Which knots do I not know? Why is it every time I play a game with you, we somehow get into tying people up?
Megwick is using prestidigitation like a spray bottle. Just like, no, no, no. Both of you, no.
It's alright, getting clean only makes getting dirtier fun.
So,
Put them both in the brig, and there's a giant sign that says "Horny Jail."
Oh no.
All right, all right,
You-
fine. I'll play dirty. Axe body spray. No.
you can see in the horny jail, there's just a little like mouse attached to a string. No. So he kind of gets him down, and you see him go, and he turns to you, Arai, and he goes, "Unfortunately for us, I believe I have quite a bit of work ahead of me."
Alright, it's gonna be a long voyage. We can get drinks another time.
Wonderful. If you would excuse me. And he turns back to, and you can see him start. You actually, as you're going, as you're leaving, you actually see him kind of drop the facade for a moment, and just start kind of working magics and things like
When
that.
Sebastian actually starts acting serious, Smegwick will give the breakdown of what he believes. I gave from the Arcana check and the Gaius' suggestion. He was if he wasn't already aware, someone else already was, where he was subject to a modification of a suggestion spell previously, to where because if you remember, Declan wouldn't wake up.
Oh, yeah.
It seems that whoever is doing this seems to be very fond of suggestion
Yeah.
and has gotten quite adept at using it.
This was those fucking goggles.
Well, I unfortunately have my work cut out for me.
This may actually have been a long term. He said he once visited a certain tower. I'm not going to even say
We
the name of
can-
it right now.
We can discuss everything like that in a little bit. I must attend to my Capitan.
What I'm saying, this may be the result of a deep-rooted magic.
Of course. Right now, it seems that and he kind of looks over in the direction that Arai walked away. The muscle mage has cast his own spell that seemed to be very effective
Like, like it's coming back up. Like,
here. So I believe for the time being, we should be good. I will ensure that the window is locked in a way that he cannot open it.
do
and
you
the
happen to know the
doors-
next place where where we were planning to go?
Unfortunately, Capitan Declan was planning on asking for your suggestion. We were not
Right.
sure if we wanted to head
Right.
into the core or if we wanted to go south to Spheros.
Yeah, there's Zalos. That's the next closest place to the core. I don't know if he still wants to head that way or not.
We were thinking Exelos would be closest.
Yeah.
Do you have
If
anyone we can contact in those regions?
we have tried sending message spells, for whatever reason, they do not seem to be going to their intended recipients where we are. So
Oh, that's not a good sign.
we are not sure if that means that people are not there or if we are simply being blocked by something. But for the time being, the Capitan is safe, and
Let's head that way if we can. We
Alright.
sure as hell can't stay here.
then if you would be so kind, there is a shorter fellow, big bushy beard. He is our pilot. Tell him to head to Exelos and give him this. And he reaches into his pocket and he brings out just a small kind of wooden coin that has kind of a weird carving shaped into it, or carved into, or a weird shape carved into it.
Doesn't have an A on it, does it?
No,
Thank God.
it's a bee.
I do what I recognize it.
It bears similarities to Declan's family. It's effectively it's the family crest.
Okay.
I was worried about it being anonymous.
Yeah.
No.
No, this is
Thank God.
this seems to be it's very, very worn, and it has no lacquer or anything on it, but it's still very, very smooth. So it seems to have been handled a lot. So
Shall do that. Thank you so much for your
Which-
assistance.
of course, my lady. If there is anything I can do to make your stay more, and again he kind of bows down, acceptable, please feel free to ask me. Your mere desire is my command. And then he closes the door and goes back to working on Declan.
Okay, Smoker's gonna go to the pilot after.
So again, you can see this gnome kind of standing near there, and he just kind of looks at you unexpectedly.
Captain, by way of Sebastian, Axelos. So I give him the coin.
Looks at the coin. Righto, sir. And you see him just concentrate for a moment, and you watch as the deck just springs up to get him to about the height of the wheel.
I'm guessing we're gonna have to go to our ship.
He's like, you might want to get whoever your pilot is to follow along.
I'll get on it.
Righto, then. We'll be going in 5 minutes. Is that enough time for you to get everything that you need? We've already loaded all of the goods and everything over.
Possibly.
Fantastic. I don't want to be standing here any longer than I need to.
As we step out,
Mhm.
because Arai doesn't know where you guys have been, so Trax is thinking of, if we can try and reach out to the places that you guys know and have been to people in different areas, just to see who basically can ping back to us and who can't. Because have you guys been to Exelos before?
No.
Okay.
Thus far, this group has made friends with a rich dude, pissed off everybody in Abia that you know about, and went to a lovely cult island.
Okay.
So their list of friends isn't remarkably long, unless I'm forgetting an adventure here.
Okay. All right.
And also, Reggie's the only one that can do the spells, and he's tuckered out on that.
Yeah.
No, I know. But like we can, it might be good to see for the people who've already done tending on this ship where they were not able to get a response from, so we can try and.
So if you ask around to the various magic users,
Yes.
thus far, since they've been near Vox's Landing, they have not been able to get a spell out to anyone. And they've tried contacting people all over the Sovereignty, and nothing has gone.
Okay.
We might have better luck if we manage to get
If
some
we get
distance.
further away, yeah. Okay.
I know as far as like connections that the party would have, obviously Aui's family lives in, is it Exelos that your family's from? Or you're
I'm
from
trying to-
Imperius?
I'm trying to look that up right now.
Okay, well, obviously, they live in the core somewhere. Krexney used to work in Spheros,
Right.
so she has a few contacts there.
Right.
And
Okay.
remember, we did get a message off to Arthur.
Yeah,
We did. Yeah.
but that was before you guys got to Vox's Landing.
Yeah.
So Arthur was the rich dude that they... Or no,
Oh,
he was technically the person...
He was the Marine.
He was the Marine.
So was Declan's ship only trying to get in touch with others while they were waiting for us in Vox's Landing? I thought we had tried and mentioned trying as we were going
You
towards Vox's
guys had
Landing.
been trying, and the only person that... You had tried contacting a few people that you thought were at Vox's Landing and got nothing.
Yeah.
But you were able to contact Arthur, who's a Marine,
Okay.
somewhere in the core.
Okay.
And that got through. As far as the people in Declan's ship, they were much more focused on, like, they weren't really trying to reach out at that particular point, and they didn't
Okay.
really start trying it in earnest until they got close to Vox's Landing, and there's some kind of blackout or something here.
Right. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
No problem. So that being said, anything else you guys... I'm going to try this one more time. Anything else you guys want to do before the ships separate again?
I think we were working on, like, that was the whole point of us doing the run, was us,
Yeah, the supplies have already
Switching out
been
the supplies and
equalized.
everything
Yeah, the
among
supplies have already been
ships.
equalized. You guys do have passengers that you gave up before because you didn't want to be going in.
Yeah.
to
But I'm sure
Vox's.
we also would have had to switch those back out to lighten the load, as it were.
Yeah. So while you guys were eating and everything, all of that stuff was done. So
Cool.
the people that are still living on your ship are in the cargo bay. The water has been equalized. Food, for the most part, isn't that big a deal. 'Cause
Smegwick will check in with Peter real quick just to make sure, like, if you got to run anything, just like let us know.
Mhm.
He will also fill in what happened because obviously he'll get out, but
Hmm.
since Peter did run with us previously.
So
It would be good to leave to make sure that Declan is going to be secured here when he wakes up.
yeah, Sebastian has taken care of all of that. So, you guys are still going to be traveling together. The ships just aren't going to be connected
Yeah.
Right.
because going full flotilla would slow down both of you guys massively. So yeah, you guys are able to sorry, doing like 7 different things at once, and I keep looking for certain things that aren't there. So you guys are able to get everything going, and the ship starts going, and it's going to take you probably the better part of like a week ish to get to Exelos. But after the first day, you guys start realizing that your magic is working in a slightly more reliable fashion. Like, you send out some messages and there's still large parts of the sovereignty that you're just getting nothing from. But it seems that whatever was stopping message spells from getting out completely seems to be limited to the area immediately around Vox's Landing. And it's
Smegwick hates this, but if we have several days, he's going to check in with Reggie.
okay.
He hates checking in with Reggie.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But there's also the reason, like, hey, Reg, I'm gonna need. Okay, remember that thing you did before?
You're gonna have to be way
Send-
more specific.
Sending a message to family.
Yes, I do remember that. Who would you like me to contact this time?
No, it's like the same as before. So you see, he has he does a minor illusion, and it's her, and just checking in once more, like, hey, since you've already gotten this before, since she has received this message before, he doesn't need to prove it as him again. Because since this is Smegwick via Reggie sending a message to her, to his mother, and going like, hey, things may be getting weird, stay safe, don't know when we'll be able to send missive again.
Now, just to reconfirm, we did take a long rest?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then yes, I can do that.
Well, I'm also working on the presumption this is like several days while
Yep.
we're going to.
Yeah, you guys
Alright.
you guys technically will have a few days to kind of chillax.
Yeah.
And surprisingly enough, the Vale seems remarkably calm. You haven't had to deal with giant creatures trying to eat you or nothing.
But yes, I do on Smegwick's behalf. Reggie does send that message, like, no issues, no arguments. Reggie's being very cooperative this
Okay.
time.
Thanks.
Yeah.
The message that you get back doesn't make a lot of sense to you, Reggie. It's short and simple. It's just fuck off.
Oh,
Smegwick, on the other hand, you know the kind of codes that you kind of set up with your family to know when things are not quite good.
Oh yeah.
And that, in particular, for your family, means that they are in a position where effectively they're under scrutiny and not in friendly company, if that makes sense.
Okay. Just also because of reconfirm, because I know it's been a while since we talked about this. Smegwick probably, because of the fight he had with his family, would not have given his surname. But
Mhm.
knowing they would have asked for a surname, he would have made up some bullshit.
Mhm.
But they would have, when he signed up, I'm sure someone did a backtrack record of like where he comes from and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so that was just touch base on that. So yes, like okay,
Yeah.
so they're okay. Well, at least they're okay and they're being smart about it. Okay.
So I mean, without going into too much detail, it's basically it's basically a warning to stay away because it's not safe.
Yeah.
So
It's like, but he hears that, like, she hears that it's the goblin version of "fuck off," and it's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, ma."
just like Mother used to make. So, yeah, is there anything else you guys want to do? Eventually, Sebastian does appear on the ship. And after about the fourth day, he requests that you guys join him on the ship because Declan is awake.
Is he okay?
It would be best for him to tell you himself.
Am I also there, or am I still piloting our ship?
He would have had everyone kind of meet around the helm so that he could
Okay.
talk to you all together. If you would like, I can have one of our supplemental pilots come over and just keep the ship on course as we go to speak to him.
Yeah, no problem.
Thomas will be over here. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Okay. So you guys are all taken back to the ship, and when you are taken into his room, it is a nightmare in there. 3 of the 4 posts are broken. There is like big old claw marks on all the walls. There's some scorch marks in certain places, and you can see Declan just kind of sitting on the end of his bed, looking kind of like a kid that got caught taking cookies out of the candy jar.
Crap, do you need a young cleric and an old cleric?
You have a fun night last night?
You okay?
There are 3 types of people in how you approach this situation.
I feel I need to apologize for my actions. Apparently, I may have said some unkind words.
Declan, if I think what happened to you is what I suspect, I don't think anything was under your words.
Well, we have some good news and some less than stellar news.
Oh, joy.
Considering the shit we've been through, this is being an uptick for us.
The good news is, despite the state of my personal room, it seems to be I am no longer under the effect of that magic. So that is something to be applauded, yes. Unfortunately, my good friend Sebastian is rather talented, but was not talented enough to remove the magic without removing any of the memories associated with it. So unfortunately, I have absolutely no memory of whatever it was that caused it. I also have very few memories of the past 14 years.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
think
I
so.
remember major details. I remember most of my studies, but remarkably enough, I do not remember most outside of that. Whatever this was, it was ingrained in quite a few of my memories. The reason it was so strong an enchantment. So I may be less than helpful for a time as I attempt to piece together the situations.
I hope
can't-
you have the means and resources to get a hold of the Greater Restoration spell.
Well, see, that's part of the bad news. Because of how the magic was done to rip it from, wrest me from the hold of this spell, We fear that the damage is more likely than not permanent. Aside from a wish spell, I probably will not regain most of those memories. But I can make new ones, and I was a prodigious journaler. I have records that I can reference.
Smeg will have a slightly academic thing like, well, greater restoration combined with regeneration, maybe have a shot at it. Anyway, sorry.
Yes. Well, the important thing is I am currently under my own control, which is good, and well, I may have an idea as to where we can go to find out more.
Well, currently we're underway to Exelos.
Yes, which is a fine spot to drop off all of our refugees. Exelos will ensure that they're taken care of, and we can move on to more pressing matters.
Would Exelos also be where we would want to drop off our, see, how many, sure we got that. Yeah, our 4 petrified friends.
It would not be a bad place. Everywhere in the core is effectively connected. If we drop it off with the proper authorities, they will get the care that they need.
Well, I was wondering that, or should we leave them in your care, because technically these were people that were present when Coriel Strikes attacked, and maybe they might, if you can depetrify them, they would have intel, possibly.
Well, see, that's the thing. We are not going to be going to a place where my crew can join us. You see, apparently I've already told you this, but many years ago, approximately 14, I went to Soulwatch Tower. As my family is, my family supports the research done there financially, and every so often we simply ask to be made aware of where our money is going. It's a very common thing with beneficiaries and other things like that. We like to see that our money is doing good, else we will...
Smegwood does not say this out loud. It's like, oh, fuck, and they've been modifying the memories of their cash cows.
So, I did not go there alone. I can remember things from before the trip, and my uncle, Soren, he was rather insistent I join on this particular endeavor. So if there is someone that actually knows what's going on, he would probably be the person to talk to. And now that we know what we are up against, perhaps we can have a slightly easier time dealing with the possible negative effects.
It also, unfortunately, we could have any number of sleeper agents dealing with at any given time.
Well, that's my point. See, I am going to leave command of my ship under the command of my first officer, and I was hoping I might be able to request passage with you, and that we all might travel to my uncle's current residence in Airhold.
Sorry, George was looking
That
at the
is very north.
It is also the prison city.
Your family lives in Airhold?
No, my uncle is currently there for, I think the last time we spoke, he had 72 more years.
Oh boy.
Are we jailbreaking your uncle?
Well, see, when you go
Yes.
for visitation, everything is monitored, and they have somewhere listening to everything that you say, and we ask certain questions, and people are going to find out. If we were to find a way to have a conversation in another location, that might be best for everyone involved. But that would require getting my uncle out of Airhold, probably against guidelines, let's say.
Okay, well, we get to Exelos. We're definitely gonna need a dry dock because something tells me we're gonna need, and he just because he knows Declan is not aware of this yet, and we're still gonna hold that in the back pocket. We're gonna need a dry dock to do some ship repairs.
Oh, don't worry. Any repair costs I will cover. I owe you at least that much.
And Crexy will be very happy to hear that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And lovely. So
Is.
So what we need is more allies, and we may possibly be the most wanted people in the sovereignty.
We're already wanted.
There's levels. We had a shot before. This is going to get very interesting.
What her name?
Smegwick, if you don't mind, I need to talk to you about something. If we're done here.
yes,
Talk to you, Mr. Declan.
I could use some time to rest as well. It's been a rather eventful few days for me.
I can imagine. Like looking at the.
All right. Smegwick, there's some. And I take him out of the room and like into the hallway, away from everyone.
Is this just a you and me, or is this a crew?
This is. Well,
We know about your
originally
nanny.
I was. Originally, no, this is not about my nanny.
We know about your mom.
Okay.
I'm letting you know.
We are not talking about that subject. Okay, but fine. You two, come over here, and he gets Orion Owie over here. Okay. All right.
Before we leave, I give Declan a quick hug.
Aw. Owie gave Declan a hug.
Okay. Sweet. Kind of.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm doing 7 different things right now.
That's fine.
So yeah, Declan kind of hugs you back. He kind of gives a look in your eye. You guys just kind of catch eyes. Like, thank you very much. And then you see him kind of just getting settled back in his room.
All right. Considering where we're going right now, this is normally something that I would not like to divulge to everyone, but considering that we're possibly going to Airhold in the next couple days, I feel like this is something.
That to get there.
It's going to take a bit longer than that to get there. Trust me, the more time it takes, the better. Listen. If we really are going to be doing this, and we're going to Airhold, try and bust someone out, I will do what I can to assist in whatever plan, but I'm not going inside that prison.
Depending on what happens. Look. I hear you. Believe me, knowing about that place.
It's
I
not
get
just that. It's not just that. I will not give any details, at least not yet. But what I will say to all of you, and if we make it past this, like maybe a little worse for wear, but still live. If we make it past this, I may be willing to divulge more details. But
Were you there?
I wasn't there. No, I was never in Airhold myself. But what I will say, and again, I'm not going to give any concrete details, but a couple years ago, I was involved in something that involved quite a lot of people because it was that big of a thing. I decided to change my morals to something a bit more upstanding, and it resulted in everyone else getting put in that prison. And I walked away. Now, I am not certain if they are all still in there, or maybe they got let out. It has been a while. But
You're saying
I'm not taking that chance.
Is that when you freaked out? Did you know someone? Wait, the person who recognized you in Vox's Landing.
We are not talking about that.
Well,
and
no,
his
no.
accent dropped a little bit right there.
Reggie recognized the guy. Reggie was
Right.
never made.
Right.
Well, no, I mean, was that guy part of the crew? Like, yeah, I
Smegwick,
know.
He was the one who organized the crew.
Oh, shit.
He was the head guy. Though, chances are, ever since we released that Behold a Dragon and things kind of went to shit around here, obviously it would stand to reason that we got more pressing things to worry about than just one guy. So, I haven't really been thinking about it all that much lately. That being said, if we are doing air hold, I will do what I can to help out in any way, just so long as I don't step inside that prison. That's all I'm gonna say. And then Reggie's already starting to like turn around.
Hey, like he will get in the way. I appreciate what you're saying, but just to mentally prepare you on the offset, if what may happen may be required to happen, you may have to bullshit like you've never bullshit before. Which means you may have to, in some way. I get what you're saying. Also, I would also suggest maybe go through your little disguise kit and start curating your look.
Yeah, the last time I pulled off a well enough performance, I was an old guy being senile about a murder. Yeah, that was quite fun.
God,
Just saying.
Mom, why didn't you teach me any more of this shit?
Just saying, you may have to prepare that if we are gonna have to do something. We may also, this is going to take some, we may have to confer with Declan when we have a little bit more, a better idea of what we may or may not have to do. Because I certainly don't know how to just waltz into Airhold.
I might have someone who might know someone.
Are they involved in a syndicate that currently is very pissed off at us?
Well, she knows a lot. You've met her.
Was this an Abia? Was this an Abia?
It was.
That's not good!
Well, she wasn't associated with them. She was there for work. Right, GM? Ismail?
To be perfectly honest, she intentionally didn't tell you what she did.
Right. We just went on adventures.
Yeah, you just went on adventures. And one of the things that you, if I know Arai well enough, I think probably made her even more excited about it was she would actively say things to throw you off the scent, like blatantly and on purpose. So that you could tell, like she would make references that were blatant lies and things like that. It was a little game that you guys played.
Yay.
So you intentionally, you actually don't know where her allegiances are, and that is exactly the way she wanted it to be.
Okay.
And then trustworthy from the start.
There
Well,
was a
the good
trust. It was just kind of a plausible deniability style situation.
Well, the good news is, if that's the lady we met, then that means Reggie can send a message to her.
I mean, I can certainly try. Can't guarantee what the response will be.
Just also so I can say this. I get this is not the smartest plan, but people have been fucking with us on such a level that this is... We may have to do some crazy shit that they may not anticipate. They sure as fuck wouldn't expect us to do something like this. And I, for one, am sick and tired of getting our asses handed to us.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree completely. Let's go off script.
This is
So
a
am I
live
sending
play.
this
We
message?
have to use a script.
Yeah.
So,
No, we can't let them know in RPG. We don't use a script, guys. We don't use a script.
Mercer!
the hosts are starting to reject the programming.
You.
All right, so am I sending this message?
We have a long time to figure this out. We could table
Yeah, you
this.
guys have-
Reggie.
That you know
I'm
what?
sure-
That is true.
Because
that is true.
I'm damn Skippy Rye needs to formulate what the fuck message Reggie needs to send.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. Now that I kind of am thinking about this, this is Evan talking. Is Reggie the only one with any kind of telepathy spells in this
Yeah.
entire crew?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got-
It
We've
really
got
is
a
just him.
barbarian.
Okay.
An Eldritch Knight and a Warlock.
Megwick.
Warlock Sorcerer.
Yeah.
I don't even have third level spells.
I'm hoping someday we get like some kind of device that lets us do a sending spell. That would be lovely.
Yeah, that would be great.
She's working on it, okay? I don't know.
Well, it doesn't have to be correcting. Like maybe something like that exists already.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Link
Like,
earrings.
that sounds
Something-
like nonsense. Like a stone that could cast sending. Like
I'm
that's
thinking of like
that's just nuts. No one
I'm
would
thinking
ever
more-
create a magic item like that because it's effectively just a walkie-talkie. Like who?
I'm thinking of
who would
something-
create a magic walkie-talkie, Gary Gygax? Who?
I'm thinking of something that's a spell like this, that does a sending spell, as opposed to having a very specific stone sent to a very specific person. We don't have the infrastructure for a network, let alone a family plan.
Well, I mean, if you would just sign up with magical AT&T, like you could have, sovereignty-wide long distance and
Sovereignty
100
Mobile.
text- Yeah, if you would just
Smooth.
they have
Smooth.
booths in every single mall. You just walk up to it, you sign up for Sovereignty Mobile, you get like
Everyone
you get
knows they're
message
responsible
spells
for
are only
arcanic
like
data mining.
10 silver apiece for the first 20, and then it jumps up to 2 platinum. But and your first 90 minutes of or your first 90 words of sending spells are actually included. Additionally, if you send to other Sovereignty Mobile customers, you actually get a reduced rate for sending. I'm sorry, guys. I used to sell cell phones, if anyone's wondering.
No shit.
By the way, if you sell enough of them, you get really expensive phones for nothing. So that was how I started using Galaxy phones. I didn't pay for my first 2. And then we stopped selling Sprint phones, and I had to buy them myself. So yeah, over the next few days, you guys are able to make whatever plans that you would like to. Unfortunately, though, that is where we're going to end it for today. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/TraderJody.
Thank you.
Otherwise, again...
Yeah, I turned off my tablet. One second, Jody, let me bring this up. I got this. Hold on.
We're vamping. There we go.
Better graphics doesn't make it true.
Yes, it does. That's what. Didn't you know? That's the rule of video games. If it's better graphics, then it's just better in general, and bad graphics aren't going to exist.
Come on.
So anyway, again, that is all for me today. Sorry for the short stream today, but it has been a hell of a day, and migraines are pain. So, quite literally. Again, that's all for me today. I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.
Bye.